pressure.
Is that okay? What is this PER? If I may just, you know.
The PER is the pressure equipment regulations, and
Yeah.
that mandates to fabricators the requirements when you operate or when you fabricate or repair vessels operating above 50 kilopascals above that of the atmosphere.
Okay, all right. And then Etienne, in terms of the work that you've been doing in SAIW, I believe you also tend to, you know, go out and interact with clients. So I just would like to know from you, what has been your experience in the welding sector of late, especially in light of COVID-19?
Look, Shelton, in the light of COVID-19, fabricators have had some extremely difficult times, you know, and it's not only COVID, it's also, you know, our industry that has gone down. And what is currently transpiring is, you know, there's a lot of welders, there's a lot of good welders roaming the streets in South Africa. And unfortunately, they cannot find employment because a lot of these companies or fabricators that we visit actually had to go through the retrenchment process, you know, because of COVID and the loss of fabrication projects.
Is it? Okay. Quite an unfortunate situation there. So as you meet up with these clients, do you guys ever discuss anything related to the design and implementation of training programs to suit their particular needs or whatever? What's your experience there?
Shelton, what has happened in the past is we used to offer standard programs to our fabrication base. And as of late, when I meet with these companies, during our discussions, we soon realize that there's a great demand for what we, if I might call it this, a tailor-made course, where these companies actually inquire as to how SAIW can come to the party and help them train specifically for their needs in their sector. And what I also find is that during some of these visits, we actually go on a tour of the facility. And it's during these tours that we actually identify areas which the fabricator then, has got a need for to improve productivity and obviously his rework. So what I do at the Institute now is I actually sit with these people and we tailor make a course to specifically look at their needs.
Is it? Okay, all right, fantastic. So now, has that been successful, or how's that been?
Look, in my opinion, it is very, very effective and it's worked well because I received some positive feedback from, amongst others, one big earth moving company where the gentleman indicated that they increased their productivity with their equipment by 20%. And then also, what he was stating is that with his staff now being familiar with, what the requirements are, from a technology point of view, as well as from a practical point of view, that when they repair equipment, they actually do it in a lesser period of time, and they find that the equipment now lasts longer.
Is it? Okay. So basically it's an improvement in skills, it's an improvement in the quality of work as well. So it's actually quite a big gain in terms of the assistance that they're getting from you. Awesome stuff. Awesome. So let's carry on. So in which sectors do you see the most potential for welders in the coming year?
Again, there, Shelton, with government announcing, that they're going to spend tens of millions of rands on sub projects and improving, entities in South Africa. And we're specifically looking at power generation, petrochemical, and then obviously what the talk of the town lately is the LNG project, with the pipeline from Mozambique. And, that's basically it is now the correct time or the right time to train, if I might put it that way.
Okay, all right, interesting stuff. You talk about LNG. I know we've, generally in Africa, there's been a few discoveries of gas along the coastlines. So what's the activities in our neighboring countries, or on the continent in general?
Look, if I just may, as an example, in Mozambique, there's a 128 billion project for the oil and gas. And that project obviously is going to require some, South African welders.
Yeah.
But the main focus now is that, for every one South African that the fabricator in Mozambique employs, he basically has to train 10 of the locals. And that's where SAIW services can actually benefit them, in the fact that we are the A&B for the IIW in Southern Africa. We at SAIW believe that we can actually form partnerships with these fabricators and these training providers, to look at things like helping them become ATBs, to accredit them as ISO 3834 companies, and also to offer them our wide spectrum of non-destructive testing courses, as well as the welding inspectors and the specialist and technologist courses.
All right. So I hear you mentioning some of these fancy terms. I think I heard like ATB. What is? Could you just elaborate a little bit on that?
The SAIW is a national body for the IIW in Southern Africa. And when we go out to potential training providers, we can actually help them become, as I just said, the ATBs, which actually stands for an approved training body. And that enables these companies or providers then to also offer the International Institute of Welding Welders Guideline program.
Is it? So you can actually even then run this these ATBs or set up these in different countries as well.
Yes. As an example, we have, just before the lockdown, we have engaged a company in Uganda, which has applied to become an authorized training body. And we are currently helping them to train their trainers so that they can run these programs in future by themselves.
Oh, excellent. So that's some mobility, flexibility, agility from SAIW side. You can actually, you've been to Uganda and provided the training there.
Yes, we have delivered the trainer program, where we actually trained 6 of the new trainers for the program.
Okay, all right, interesting stuff. All right, let's move on. So in light of these developments that you're talking of, how is SAIW looking at promoting welding as a career path for youngsters, talking school leavers? How do we generate that or invigorate that interest within them?
Shelton, as part of my portfolio, I also do visit technical high schools, where I do short little presentations on possible careers in welding. And interesting enough that you've asked that question is, I had a little case the other day where I phoned the headmaster, a week before I was scheduled to do this presentation. And I asked him, for interest sake, he must please have the students wear the clothing that they would like to wear, in their real jobs when they actually leave school. And you'll be amazed that not one of those kids actually come to the presentation wearing an overall or a safety boots or carry a welding helmet or a toolbox. They all walk in there dressed up in their best suits with stethoscopes around the neck and briefcases. And welding is seen as a blue-collar trade, and these youngsters don't really understand how many career opportunities there are available for them, you know, as welders, you know, in the market out there.
Okay, so most of them are looking at university type, you know, or careers that you acquire via going through a university education.
Yes, and that's where the demand comes from. And government has actually, I stand corrected, in 2017, they've actually announced the 13 most scarce skills in South Africa. And welding was graded as number 2 in that survey that they've actually conducted. And the whole reason for that is that the majority of youngsters today, you know, they all want to go to university and get a degree instead of taking up an artisanship.
Okay. Is there like a formal, you know, like with university, you've got your, you know, you go out, you've got a structured program that you follow to get your university degree. But with welding, is there a program along those lines, like a national program that can be followed?
Yes. Shelton, as I said before, you know, government also realized, you know, about 12 years ago that, you know, that the programs that they offered for welding was outdated. And the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations, or in short, the QCTO, they came on board and they involved industry, the whole fabrication industry, petrochem, power generation, and also with the help of the SAIW, we developed a new occupational qualification, which is registered through SAIW, and it is very much aligned with the hours that you actually do at a university. It's a 3-year program, and it's based, the whole program is based on the dual system, which is very widely used in America, specifically Germany, and then as well as Switzerland. Now, this QCTO program that was delivered, or that we developed, is about 80% of that curriculum is based on the IIW guideline. So there's a very nice crosswalk between the QCTO and the IIW training programs.
Okay. So basically, we training at a national level. We are also training at an international level, so to speak.
Yes, and then also, you know, the SAIW, we were involved with DHET, or the Department of Higher Education and Training, where about 2.5 years ago, the department engaged, you know, with these 13 skills that they've identified.
Can you give me back
They've started what they call the COS projects. And the COS project actually is what they call centers of specialization, where they're running pilot projects at TVET colleges. And under welding, we were heavily involved with setting up these welding schools, train the trainers, implement the programs, and also to help recruit the learners, you know, and to help the fabricators recruit these learners.
Okay. And that's gone quite well, I imagine.
It's gone extremely well. If I just may mention them, the one is Boland College down in Worcester. And then there's another college, East Midlands College down in Uitenhage. They each have 30 welding apprentices that are currently undergoing the program. And these apprentices will be sitting their trade test at NAM in March of next year.
All right, excellent. Is there you know, besides this QCTO centered training, is there another approach to training welders locally, just to boost the number of you know, skilled artisans out there or welders out there?
Yeah, look, Shelton, the QCTO program that they're running, the whole idea of that was to put the employer or the fabricator back into the driving seat. And that would enable them to recruit their own apprentices, and then, you know, have institutions like the SAIW look after the institutional training, you know, and they can then quality assure that. So to
Okay.
answer your question, sorry, Shelton, to answer your question on, the SAIW and helping the welding training locally, we've gone and we've got a flexible, approach. As mentioned earlier, we like to speak to fabricators, find out what their needs are, and then tailor-make specific programs for them. We are also offering currently the IIW welding program.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, on that point, we've agreed to offer a bursary to 2 youngsters to undergo the full 28-week program and have them exit, as international pipe welders at the end of the day. So we are extremely proud of that.
Wow.
What we also do is we have got QCTO accreditation, and we are also currently seeking fabricators to engage and to appoint apprentices and have us do the institutional training. Then the institute, we also offer short upskilling courses where we bring the students in on a weekly basis, and that would then include a certification test on the Friday, where if successful, we can actually issue him a certificate of competency.
Is it? Okay. So Etienne, with I've developed myself as a welder, to navigate the different career paths. Can the institute provide any guidance along those lines?
Definitely, yes, Shelton. In the past, we used to have a course prospectus, which was almost a 100-page document. It was extremely difficult to navigate, and it was extremely difficult to understand how career paths actually work, or how you can actually build a career in welding. So we are in the process, and we will launch this in November of this year, is where we've got an app, or we've developed this app where students can actually go onto the app. They can enter, their credentials as to what qualifications they've currently got. And then the app will actually direct them, through the various courses that they can follow to achieve whatever qualification they seek at the end of the day, or what career path they would actually like, to follow.
So is it? Okay, that's quite interesting. Before I get to the very last of my questions, I just want to go back. You mentioned bursary. Did I hear you correct there?
You absolutely heard me correct. And as I said, we are extremely proud of that. And we feel there is a need for that. And due to the COVID and the current state of fabrication in South Africa, we just thought that from SAIW side, if we can offer a bursary like that, that will be in good standing.
Is it? So when would one, be able to lodge an application for this?
We are basically going to start recruiting these 2 individuals within the next 2 weeks or so. But the training program will most probably only start in January of 2021.
Is it? Okay. I think it would be great if you could, at the end, give us contact details so that, our participants can also share those details with whoever they believe would be, interested to pursue this opportunity. So my last question to you then, Etienne, is what is the SAIW doing to facilitate the recruitment of welders by fabricators out there? I mean, you're talking a lot about training. So when I'm done with my training, then what's next? Is there any assistance that you guys are putting in place, or what's the thinking? What are you guys up to there?
Shelton, that always used to be a big question from students that we've actually trained at the Institute is, will the SAIW be willing to assist me in finding a job? So on that, we've also got, and we are, well, we are in the process of starting a database together with a register where any welder that has been certified by the SAIW can actually go and upload his or her information, and that database and register will then be available to all the SAIW members. And the real benefit in there lies for both parties in the fact that these trainees exiting the various program will, they will be able to actually advertise themselves. And then also from a recruitment point of view, members can actually go in and they can actually seek through that database, and they can, invite these youngsters or welders for interviews and obviously the certification testing, which at the end of the day will save them a ton of money. As you all know that, there's so many welders and everybody is desperately seeking to get a job. So we just thought this is beneficial. The registration of these welders will also it'll be open to anybody that has either undergone training and certification at the SAIW, or it's also open to individuals that just want to come in and have or undergo a certification test to be uploaded onto that system. Now, for that, we've got the website. So if there's anybody interested in that, we please ask that you contact the SAIW, or you can go on the website at info@saiw.coza to register or to express your interest in being uploaded onto that database and register.
Right, awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Etienne. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it for yourselves. If there are any questions, please. Okay, I see there was already a question here. And the question is, let me just read it out for you. The question says, is the attendant register available? This is, I believe this is the welders register that is being asked about here. Is it available?
That register will only be available to fabricators or individuals who are actually members of the SAIW.
Is it? But as if an individual wants to become a member, okay, thanks for this perspective from the fabricator. But as an individual, if I want to put my name onto that register, I think this is what this question is asking. Where do I, put my details through to as well?
That's what I said. We've got the website. You can just send a short little abbreviated CV and possibly a copy of the current certification that is holding. You can just send that to info@saiw.coza, and we will automatically upload him onto the database.
Is it? Okay. All right. Thank you for that one. If there's any other question, please, put it on the chat, or you can ask to unmute yourself, and we will let you have the mic.
Can I have a few words there? Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon. Who's this? Is this the man from Natal?
Yes, the banana boy.
All right, go for it.
Hello, Etienne. I've lost my position as a training officer at a school in Durban. COVID has not helped us much with it, but I'm a certified or registered NAM assessor and moderator in the welding and boilermaking line. We are busy setting up a new school. I don't know if Mr. Bill Loyens is online. He was going to join us today, and we've been battling since January just to get the certification for our new school done. And it's a mission to get anybody to move, to get us. We train students for a long time now. Bill has been in it for 40 years. And we now need to get our school done. But I'm also very interested in the authorized training body that you set up. And if you had to come to Durban, please don't go past. Let us please have a chat.
All right. Can I please ask you to send us your detail on that same address, info@saiw.coza, and I will then revert with information as to how to become an authorized training body or an approved training body. And
Yeah.
I can also give you some advice as to how to apply to the QCTO or certification.
Yeah, we've been waiting for NAM for quite some time, but I understand they could not travel since March. But now for the last month, they've been able to travel. One of the cheetahs was down this week, but nothing has happened. And we're just desperate to get the school going.
Yeah. Look, there was a lot of changes with this new QCTO welder occupational qualification. And one of those big changes is that your service provider cannot do the trade test either. So
No.
you either got to train or you got to conduct a trade test. So if you want to set up your school, you will have to apply to QCTO for accreditation. And then once your learners are qualified, they then go and they apply to at NAM to sit their trade test.
You said I've got to apply to?
The QCTO, the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations.
Okay, I'll put that on paper to you as well and just get all the addresses and whatever I need.
You can just go on QCTO's website. They've got the whole guideline there. Everything is there.
Thank you very much. But if you come to Durban, the bunny chows are available.
I'll take you up on that offer. Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you for that question. Just want to say, it's unfortunate what COVID has basically done to a lot of people. I know many people in this country have lost their jobs. I just want to, you've got my sympathy, but at the same time, I like you give me enthusiasm because you're talking of starting your own thing. So it actually just goes to show that with welding, you can actually, try and bounce back. I wish you all the best of luck there. I also have Louise who says they've got a question. I don't know. Louise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. There's another question which has come through from Meta. Does SAIW assist with recognition of prior learning for experienced welders?
We do not apply any of the ARPL toolkits. But what we do with welders is if a welder feels that he is comfortable with coming into the institute, we will subject him to a certification test to either the ASME Section 9 or to ISO 9606. And if that individual is successful in that test, we will then give him or her a certificate of competency.
Okay, all right. I've also got another one from Tendani. Tendani says the biggest frustration for fabricators is that welders have been through training institutions. Welders that have been through training institutions have only received basic training. What level of complexity has been incorporated into the SAIW training program? I don't know if you got that. Should I repeat myself there?
Please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so if I rephrase it, the point is that many training institutions offer just a basic training. So the Tendani would like to know to what level of complexity is SAIW, what level of complexity has SAIW incorporated into its training program?
Look, when you go through and I'm specifically going to mention the International Institute of Welding guideline, it's a progressive learning program where there's a theory component to it. We start the student off on fillet welding, and he has to go through the whole program all the way up to the 5F position. Then from
All
there,
right.
it progresses onto plate welding. And the requirement there is to achieve the 3G position. And then finally, they would move on to pipe. And that in its totality is a 28-week program.
Okay, great stuff. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay, I don't really have any other questions for you.
Sorry, Shelton, I'm online. I'm unmuted now. It's
Okay,
Louise.
go for it. The mic is yours, Louise.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, yeah, completely following on from that question in terms of where the fabricators and manufacturers are at right now and how negative it is out there. But I've been reading a lot about this concept of localization and how that's, in terms of the lockdown, perhaps having played a positive role going forward, and the potential that it presents for local manufacturers and fabricators to actually come to the fore. So this whole thing of, sort of supply chain gains, our borders having been locked down, so to speak. And this is where I'm saying, may in fact turn out to be a positive result in certain instances. So I just wanted to get some feedback on what you guys think about this, just in, finding some light at the end of the tunnel. And then also following on from that, all these announcements that we saw last week from government in terms of infrastructure projects and developing on your comments about potential growth sectors. That was my two questions.
Louise, as I mentioned on earlier, with the current economic state that we're in, a lot of companies, and especially these ones that I've visited so far, have gone through massive retrenchments. And with government announcing, these billions that they're going to make available, for the SIP projects and so forth, now is the ideal opportunity for fabricators to actually go recruit and train their welders. Simply, to prepare them for the future. Because what I could also gather from some of these fabricators are that the economy will definitely, improve next year, and that there will be a need for, properly qualified and properly certified welding personnel. I can also just mention as well that I read an article from the American Welding Society about a year ago, where they've indicated that in 2023, there will be a need of around about 450,000 welding personnel in America alone for some of the projects that they are busy with. So things will definitely, be positive next year.
Okay, thank you for that. I don't know if there's any more questions. Is there anyone else who has a question or a comment?
Shelton, if I can just make a final comment, please.
Sure, please.
If there's any of the attendees requiring further information, I please invite them to contact the Institute, either by phone on 011-298-2100, or they can just drop me an email at etienne.nell@saiw.coza, and I will gladly revert.
All right. Thank you for that, Etienne. Thank you. Gauging from the chat room, there are no, here's another one. Is there a plan for SAIW to partner with more TVET colleges, especially within the Mpumalanga province?
There is talk to that extent, but nothing has been finalized as of yet. And I can also just add on to this that SAIW, we are in the process of, applying to become a private TVET college.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's see if another one pops in before. Right, I think that's about it. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to say thank you. And this webinar has been recorded. A link will be made available to you so that you can, watch it at any other point in time. But for today, would like to say thank you. Oh, here comes another one. All right, so here's the next question. It says, is the SAIW looking at partnering with corporates to promote the uptake of trained welders?
At
With the
this
corporate
point,
sector?
at this point in time, no, Sheldon.
Is it? But it's a possibility. I mean, there's I suppose there's an opportunity there if SAIW thought of that partnership with the corporate, this yeah, I don't know, but I suppose it's something for you to think about.
Look, on that is, and that's the invitation I extended earlier, is with the QCTO program and it being dual learning, you need to have fabricators and corporates in a driving seat. So they need to employ the apprentices and then send them to a approved training provider like the SAIW, for example. So we would like to encourage corporates to take on apprentices with legal apprenticeship contracts and then engage the SAIW to deliver the institutional component of the program.
Okay, all right. Awesome stuff. I don't know if there's anything else, but I think we are about done. I'll give it one more and see if something pops up. Okay. All right, I think that is it then. So this time it's a thank you to everybody. And Etienne Nel, thank you for your time and for explaining how the SAIW operates and its various programs. Thank you very much. And good afternoon, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, you can speak, Seb. Oh, it's a bye. All right.
That's a bye.
Okay. All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.